Anderson, and welcome to Just Asking for a Friend, the program where we meet sculptors, collectors, content makers, people from the industry, people all throughout the collecting community. And tonight, we have a very special person I want you to meet. It's like I say at every show. The people I interview on here, it's like the statues are part of the journey, but the people make the journey. And this man, I am so happy and so proud to know. This is my good friend of the Iron Lords podcast and of DCX, but Iron Lords podcast first, Mr. Lord King David, also known as the King of XM Studios. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
Oh man, that's real. That's real. You know what I mean? And you know when you joined our group, I mean, I knew we would kick it. You know, I got an eye for people,
right?
And I could just say we need this dude. You know, I sent Barbara one of my assassins.
Yeah.
You know, but
that was slick. That was slick.
Yeah,
too.
I know. You know, way to know everybody's tonic. You see?
Yeah. There we go.
But, I'm privileged to know you, my man, and that's real. And you man. And Cog and it's been real. And I mean, it ain't over or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I just let you know. You know, but like how I like to start this show out is tell everybody, you know, where you're from. How, like, first of all, I want to get to know how you got into. First of all, where you're from and where you grew up and everything. But I like to know how you got into pop culture and comics and this sort of thing. Then later on, we get into the collecting thing. And then, of course, we got to talk about Iron Lords because y'all got to know about Iron Lords. If you don't know about it, if you're a video game player especially, you got to find out about Iron Lords podcast. So please, King, by all means.
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Oh, of course.
Second, thank you for being smart enough to send Barbara. and I was like, yo, when she said that, I was like, you know, am I being catfish? And then
am I being catfish?
You heard? So, but again, at the same time, I was like, it's like sitting in the minor leagues and you just, you know, playing around and you're looking up at the majors and you know, you guys looked down and, you know, saw the stuff that I was doing and just extended the hand. And I was just, oh man, it was just like, it's like the cool kids table. I got called to the cool kids table and it felt like home, you know. So I just want you to know, brother, you've always welcomed me with open arms and the whole DCX family, be honest with you. And it's always just felt like home. So I just want to say thank you. All right, so I'm a kid from the South Bronx. Grew up in a single family home. You know, my mom's and myself very early on, and then my sister came along later. And my step pops passed away when my sister wasn't even 1 year old. She was still an infant at that time. So it was just basically us three. So growing up in, you know, Melrose Projects, it's kind of rough on a kid. All right, so you can either go the bad way or you could go the good way. Right. And you know, I did a lot of mischievous things, you know, especially if you don't have a father there for guidance, you know, and you know, mom's, you know, working and you know, I was a latchkey kid. So as a latchkey kid, you know, you had a lot of cartoon time, you know, so I would, you know, watch my Hanna-Barbera and watch my cartoons. But the cartoons that resonated the most with me was the Marvel Superhero Hour. Now, if anybody remembers that's far back when you had the Hulk and Captain America and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Then what I'm thinking about.
then it switched though, because then you got the Singularity cartoons where you had Submariner, stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, you know, stuff. I put that in one of my one of my promos for the statue. And then you had the, you know, Doc, Bruce Banner, jumping by gamma rays, you know, that had that whole so I had that, and then you know, it was just, I was so into the superhero and the fun of it, and then I started gravitating towards comic books, you know, just to feed my mind, to take myself out of my circumstance, to get away from where I was, because where I was is not where I wanted to be. You know, if anybody knows, growing up in the projects, you don't know it, but you're in a concentration camp. It's called the projects for a reason, because it's a project to see if you're going to survive your environment. So during my time, I would just get comic books and transport myself. I had a college reading level in elementary school
Wow.
because there was words that I didn't understand that was in the comic books.
Mm.
And my mother wasn't there because she was at work or something. And I had to figure this out on my own.
Mm.
So I had to sound these words out. And then I will go get the dictionary to know what the words meant. So I'm sitting there reading, let's say, Thor book. And he's like, thou fart thou, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like, what is this dude
wow,
talking about?
yeah, what is he talking about? And then I'm getting the vernacular down and I'm reading. And then, I remember learning what the word radioactive meant was because Spider-Man got bit by a radioactive spider. Reading these books took me to a different place, and I started to identify with these characters on a different level. I started seeing deeper than the lines in the page, deeper than the colors that was there. Then I started identifying them as the traits that they will have. Like, oh, he's an upstanding citizen. Why is he an upstanding citizen? And then I started learning the morals from the comic books, like Spider-Man, when he got his powers, I was like, yeah, I'll do that too. Go make some money. But at the same time, there was a moral there. It was a story being told, with great power comes great responsibility, because he didn't use that power for good when he could have saved somebody. He was like, that's not my business. But it became your business after the fact, right? Uncle Ben dies and you're like, damn, if. But you don't got no go back. And the comic books didn't give you a go back on certain key elements to the characters. So me reading comic books and playing with toys like G.I. Joe's, He-Man, and stuff like that. Fundamentally, I was a child, but responsibility-wise, remember I said my step-pops passed away, so I would have to get my sister dressed for school. So I'm sitting there combing her hair, doing her. I know how to do braids and ponytails, quick, fast, boy. So when my daughters was born, I was nice with it.
Right.
Get her dressed, take her to school, pick her up, bring her back, make sure she has her lunch, and stuff like that. Until my mom's come back home from work, my sister was already. She already took her bath and stuff like that. So you take a 12-year-old boy. And that's a little bit accelerated because it started probably like when I was like 8 to 9. But take a 12-year-old boy, and at that time you gave him all this responsibility. The only time I got the chance to be a kid was when I was reading my comic books, when I was in between those pages. And I identified more with the Incredible Hulk because I had all this rage inside of me. And I was smart like David Banner. I would want to believe that. And that I was smart like David Banner, but I wanted to be left alone like the Hulk. I just, had all this rage. And that's why he's probably my favorite character within everything, because the TV show with Bill Bixby, the circumstances he got himself into, he wanted to do good, but he had to shun certain things. He had to get away from certain things, and it formulated the psyche of the character. So that's why when we talk about the Hulk and everybody says he's a one-dimensional character, he's truly not a one-dimensional character, because if you were there from the beginning, you understood exactly the layers that went into that onion. And I felt I was a part of that onion. Right. So I truly identified with everything that he was going through, all the battles that he had and all the stuff that he did. And I will make excuses when I'm reading the books, like the time when the Hulk fought Sasquatch. I think it was Giant Size number 7 of the Incredible Hulk. And they sent Sasquatch out there, and Sasquatch was provoking David Banner, threw him out the helicopter to get him to fight. And because he wanted to test his strength up against the Hulk. And the Hulk didn't have anything to do with this. So the Hulk fought him, but it was a girl that he was protecting at the time. And then, he just brutally beat the brakes off of Sasquatch, but she saw the rage in him. And the Hulk looked at her and saw that she saw that rage in him because he brought it out of him. Sasquatch brought it out of him. And he turned back into David Banner. And at that moment, I was like, wow, you can't let people see that rage inside of you. You got to keep that bottled up. You can't let nobody provoke you to that space, right? You have to keep calm under pressure, because those people that you try to protect or defend may not recognize you when you release that beast. I did a thing on Instagram that people will never know how much violence it took to be this peaceful, right?
Fact.
So,
That's fact.
and that's it came from that. Somebody had asked me, "Yo, are you going through something?" I was like, "Nah, that was the Incredible Hulk, giant size number 7." And that's how I posted it.
So you talking about Sasquatch from Alpha Flight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Now let me tell you, my first experience with the Hulk was Spider-Man's Amazing Friends.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you know, and Stanley, come on, get ready, true believers. Today, the Hulk throwdown. The one that stands out the most is that one where they had that yellow stuff that was kind of like the blob.
Yeah.
And they let it get. That's the one that like stands out. Like this is one I can remember most clearly out of all those Hulks.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But it wasn't until I can't remember which Secret Wars it was. The one where he's under the mountain range.
Oh, he's holding the mountain on his back.
When I read that,
yeah,
I said, "My God!" And they said, "This ain't no mountain.
700 tons
range."
Yeah, it was 700
like,
tons. Yeah,
this guy is. I knew he was strong. I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah,
I was like, "Good God Almighty!" So that's when, you know, and I will argue the Superman people to death. I'm like, y'all crazy, you know. And it's like I don't even want to see him in Superman. I want to see. My dream was always to see him in Doomsday.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
my
well,
thing.
Okay, all right. The reason why the argument I got for the Hulk versus Superman is you had a bootleg Hulk kill Superman, right? All right, which is Doomsday. They came up with a character that was a mindless Hulk that was destroying the Justice League, did everything that the Hulk did. He just had bones protruding out of his body, and those bones wasn't made from unbreakable adamantium or anything like that. It was just bones protruding out of his body. So you made a Hulk gray, right, that actually could beat him. Okay, but you're going to say that the Hulk is not as strong. Now, is this one? It was a couple of comic books, but it was one comic book. It was the Avengers comic book where they separated the mind of Banner from the Hulk, and he decimated them. He was absolutely mindless. So if you take the mindless Hulk, because what Banner is doing, Banner is restraining the Hulk at all times.
Right.
So you take the mind out of the Hulk and you let him fight Superman, and I don't think the Kryptonian lasts at all, because he's a man who can't fight. He relies on his super strength.
Another one was I mean, not in particular World War Hulk, but
Right.
World War Hulk X-Men.
Ooh.
I keep telling the Tim, I said, bro, you need to check that out. I said, you might not like it, but you need to check that one out.
When he broke Colossus' arms,
they had at the end, they got these, they trying to unweld his arms. I was like,
yo.
And your boy Wolverine said, all right, I stab you. And he said, yeah, I still got feet though. And I was like, Slim, this dude mopped the floor with everybody. Everybody.
He's been holding. Okay, and the honest answer to that is that whole World War Hulk, he was holding back.
Right. Till World Breaker Hulk showed up.
No, even then, you know, Banner said, and then still I was pulling my punches.
Wow.
Yeah, so if he didn't pull it, he would have killed those dudes. It's like they can't compare to him because he is a force of nature. He's an absolute force of nature. And if you say Thor, but then if you go look at the cartoon Thor versus the Hulk, the Hulk kills Thor on cartoon right there for anybody to see. You want to check it out?
I mean, even Thor knows, you know.
Yeah,
even he knows that, you know, because I remember in the animation when they had Gamma World, and he was telling me, they said they're gross imitations of our Hulk.
Yeah,
you know I mean, he's like, our Hulk is the man. These dudes here.
Yeah, when Hulk went up against Zeus and went up to Mount Olympus.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and he was weakened at that time that he went up there and he was beating the brakes off him. I mean, that's my character.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get me away from that guy.
But I know you got another guy that's close to Vader hard, but we'll talk about him later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
But so you know, you got into the books. Now let's get into a little bit to the statues, because I remember hearing your stories that when you first got into the, I always love the people's story. They first, because you always go through, man, how much they want for this mess? But it's always that one that gets you. And then once you get it, that's it.
It took my boy to get me there.
Right.
All right. So early on, I didn't know that I had 6 scale toys. I didn't know. Right, because I would buy like I don't know, dolls or something. Like I have a whole bunch of DC dolls. I have Green Lantern, Shazam, Flash, Superman, Aquaman, and they're tall, but they're still in their boxes upstairs. And I would get them, but they only cost like 60, $70, right?
Exactly.
I'm cool with that. I didn't pay no mind. I didn't know that some of them said sideshow. I didn't understand. I didn't care. I just got them because I thought they were cool. And I was a toy collector when I was a kid, my Transformers and stuff like that. So whatever. One night, me and my wife is driving it, I'm working. And at this time, this is pre-COVID. And I used to have two companies. But one of the companies I had was securities. And the security companies dealt with private securities and hotels. So I'm going to see my guys downtown because I had 13% of the Lower East Side. And I'm driving in the car, and we drive past Forbidden Planet, and I look in the window, and it's the OG Planet Hulk, Gladiator Hulk.
Oh, I've seen that piece in person.
He's right inside.
I've seen that piece in person. That's a beautiful piece.
Oh my God! So it took that, right? And at that time, the comic book was. They did my man justice. Finally, Marvel did my man justice. And then I seen this, I pull over.
In the Suburban.
3:00 in the night. You're a big boy toy.
In the Suburban.
Pull over. I hop out. Car still running. Wife is like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm in the window like, I said, oh, God, this is crazy. He had the big shield, and I'm like, I said, I'm getting this. They ain't got no price tag in the window. I'm getting this. It took, I get back there the next day at like around 6:00 in the evening, pull up, brave through traffic and everything. Told my girl, sit in the car because we couldn't park on that block. So just sit in the car. If cops come, just tell them something, whatever. I'm going inside. I'm going to get the statue. I didn't know it was a statue, but anyway, I was just like, I'm going to go get this. I go inside the store and I asked her, yo, how much is that Hulk in the window with the shield? $695.
There you go.
I'm like, what? 600? Door? If somebody tell me right now that statue, because that statue right now will go, if it came out right now, that statue right now will go for $1,400. Right? If that statue was launched today, it would be $1,400 because I got the XM Studio Hulk, which is fantastic. They right next to each other. But that thing cost me, I think, like $1,400. But I said, this guy's bugging out. Like he's out of his damn mind. So I'm like,
that's how everybody feel when you first find
I'm not paying no $700 for no statue. I'm going to the car. I go to my wife.
Thank you.
And I'm like, yeah, babe, I'm not. He said 700. She was like, 700? And I was like, yeah. She said, do you like it? I said, yeah. Now what you gonna do? Like, then what you gonna do? Like, either you checking my manhood or you checking what's up? Because you know this my dude. We drove down here. What you gonna do? Type of thing. And I guess I probably wanted to hear it that way. Right. you wanted to hear the challenge,
right?
You're gonna check me. I'm going in there.
She said, "Man up, motherfucker, man up."
Like, yeah, put your big boy pants on, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going there. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let me get that. So he proceeded to take apart the one that was in the window.
Right.
I'm like, I don't get a discount because it was on display. No. He said, he looked me in my face and said no.
That was the only one he had, or
that's the only one he had.
Okay, yeah.
But I know how comic book shops do.
Right.
All right. So majority of the time, the display stuff that you see there, those are the stuff that they're gonna give you. All right. So if there anything, not any sun damage or anything like that, because it wasn't any damage to it, you ain't getting nothing. But he packed it up, had it in the box, gave me the shipper box and everything.
Yeah.
Had it. So at this time, we lived in a 2-bedroom condo. Now in the condo, What did okay, yeah, in the condo we took over the living room and gave the kids the room. All right. So now you gotta understand space now.
I do, trust me.
Okay. Yeah. So I get this big statue, put it on my nightstand.
And folks, that's a huge. So we're going to have to put a picture of it so you can see. That's a huge statue.
It's out of control.
You know?
Right? So I put it on my nightstand. And I got the box and the foam stuff. I threw it out.
Oh my God.
I'm new.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
Why am I keeping this? I threw it out. Not knowing that there goes at least 40% of your statue value out the window.
Not that you were gonna sell it.
No. But yeah, you never know what goes down, right? I mean, I got how many statues up for sale right now? I got probably 8, but that's all my mutants. They gotta go. So I'm like, this is incredible. Then I caught the fever. I'm on eBay.
Always happens.
At night.
Happens.
And the next statue that I got was Apocalypse. Now I go to Sideshow on eBay. I don't know where to buy these statues from, right? So my goofy behind is on eBay. Not at the website, not at Sideshow, but at eBay.
eBay, yep.
And
been there. Been there, done that.
I was playing the game, put in the bid. All right. So I put in the bid and I go to sleep. I lost. I put in the bid and I go to sleep. I lost. I'm low bidding these dudes. Apocalypse was up there. I put $300.
Wow.
I went to sleep. Thor, I won. I had it said pay now, send payment now.
Right.
I was like, oh snap, I won. I didn't know about checking dimensions. I didn't know about checking size. I didn't know about anything.
Rookie. It's okay. We all go through it.
So, boom. It comes to the house. This bad boy, bigger than the Hulk. Yo, he had a big gun that's sticking up there. And oh my God, I put him on the other other nightstand. That was her nightstand now. I put it on.
So you got, wait a minute. So you got World War Hulk on one side and Apocalypse on the other.
Yo, Thor, I looked over at her and I was like, we got to move.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times I heard people say, I got to move to get more statues.
Yeah.
That's real.
And so
real, people.
We moved 6 months after that because we was looking for a house.
Wow.
So we look and then we got here. Now this basement didn't look as cute as it looks now. When I got here, it looked like Freddy Krueger's basement. Okay, it was horrible. But what I did was, as soon as we closed that same day, I called the contractors, gut this basement out, do this basement. I had a whole vision. Do this basement out, do everything. And, do the vinyl siding on the side of the house and do the roof. Boom. Everything done. They did that stuff within a week and a half after closing. Wow. And I started my journey.
Got to be a record. Got to be a record.
Well, I mean, they were quick to take that money. And I learned a whole bunch of do's and don'ts after that. Yeah.
Word.
But what really took it to the next level, and I'm looking at the statue now because I tend to look at these things because the memories hit hard. I was on eBay again, my favorite little place, and I saw Iron Fist. XM. Didn't know what that meant. And I said, let me order that.
Not up.
I paid for that, and it showed up.
A whole new world.
If I had a little kindling, this was a raging fire now.
There you go.
Because when I opened, I was expecting the art box and a little cheapy box. XM came up like that BMW that I had sold to get that condo because I sold the.
That's what the box like, people. You knock. That's what the box sound like.
Yo, it was the greatest. I opened the box. It had a Velcro strap. I'm like, this is it. It didn't have the light up, and he's there. And the rocks look incredible. As good as the Sideshow one looked.
The door, bro. Oh my God.
That door looks
The door
incredible.
is amazing.
He's in Kunlun and he's kicking through the door, but the rocks, the way the rocks is, it's an amazing statue. And I didn't know I was in love with Daniel Bell then. Right? I did not know that. I did not know
until we had our talk.
Yes, like all my pieces. See, I got to give it up to Tim because he says your eye knows who your lover is.
Yep.
Your eye knows. Maybe you won't know, but these guys put a signature. They put a style together that is pleasing to you in a way that you will never understand, but you get it because you get it when they sculpted the character. You get it when they put all their soul into the character and gave you the breath. And it's something that he does where he gives extension and life to his characters in a way that I haven't seen by anybody else. There's no disrespect to anybody else. I mean, I have tons of statues, but it seems to me that Daniel Bell understands how to get characters to live in that still form. And he captures a moment in the still form that it transcends the statue for me. So when I got it, I said, oh, this is it. Now, through my lunacy, I rage purchased.
Not lunacy,
right? Everybody I liked, DC, Superman, a Batman, everything green. I had everything. I was all over the place. Mutants, Avengers, everything that I wanted to collect. Transformers, everything. I went all over the place. And then
Hawkman wooden wings.
That was my first. Okay, so I get to Facebook and I noticed there was groups. There's groups. You guys are there. So, all right. At this time, I'm doing Iron Lords podcast with my cousin and our friends, Sovereign and Addict, and we're doing content. But I'm like, man, I want to do something different. I want to do a little bit different. I want to show the world how I feel because I don't think these people understand how I care about these things. These things I got to show them.
It's crazy.
This is nuts. So
people don't know. They don't know
until they get them.
Until they get them. Until they come see them.
Oh yeah, they came to my house.
I can't tell you how many service dudes I came to come and work on the air ducts, and they was like, "Oh, we got to be out of here." And they spent an hour. They was talking about they had to be out of here in 10 minutes. They spent an hour looking at these things.
Exactly.
I thought y'all had to split. Oh no, don't worry about that. Don't
worry about that. Don't worry about the other people. They got their tickets in.
Right.
Don't care about
worry about that.
Yeah. Tell me how you don't let nobody in your house unless it's an absolute emergency. Tell them that part though.
Facts.
I'm very wary on that stuff. But okay, so I'm doing KOS. I said, let me come up with this, and I reach out to my to a couple of people. Rest in peace to the guy that does all my intro music. He did the intro music to the new KOS that's coming, my Combat Talk with the King, and the old KOS, and the old Combat Talk with the King. He did all the music. He tragically passed away. That's when I didn't show up that day. Right. It was a tragic accident, but he's a family friend, and we lost him. But he crafted that intro for me. And I was super happy.
That's a great intro.
I was over the world because he was happy. I was happy. He's like, yo, I got the joint. Are you not entertained type of thing? And I'm like, this is it. This is it. So I'm doing KOS, and then I'm posting it on Facebook, and then I'm noticing that, hey man, there's more people up here like me. But I saw custom groups. Didn't know anything about custom groups, and I missed out on that Morbius that went up, and Barbara and Ohami had got that Morbius, the one where he's standing in the funeral in
the Franco one.
Yeah, Franco did that one. So when I was gonna get it, I had a chance to get it. They was like, we have one more left, and all you got to do is send us the money. I don't know you to send you no money. I don't trust you like that. You ain't verified. Who let you in? Who brought you home, homie? I don't know about you. So yeah, I sadly missed out on that. But then I got to Zion Art's page, and I said, you know what? I got some bread to play with. Now, the reason why I got this statue, because I was looking at the XM Studios X-Men statue.
Mm.
They wanted like $4 or $5 for it.
Which
Now,
one was it? You talking about the Magneto?
The Dorama
Oh,
of the
okay.
whole
Okay.
X-Men when they fighting the Sentinel.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. So they wanted like $4 or $5 for it. And I was like, oh, hell no. Yo, wild crazy. That's, trust me, I spent $4 or $5. He's still tell you on one of these
That's the
statues.
one Big D won so bad.
So I was like, so Zion Art had did his own version of the X-Men Sentinel. And then I looked at the size of it and I was just like, nah. He sent me that. I said, what else you got? He was like, I got Hawkman. I said, oh, let me get that, because I was still doing DC. Oh God, that's what you got to my house. Listen, guys, I'm 6'4".
He is.
My wingspan is crazy. All 6'4" me. The Hawkman wings is the same size as my arms. I had no place to put the statue in my house. The base was amazing. I'm not gonna front. Zion Art did his dag thing on this, man. Beautiful custom. But then that's when I started learning scale. That's when I started, looking at scale, because I didn't know what you guys was talking about when you was talking about 1/4 or 1/3 and those things like half scale. And you got to start really looking at what your space is and what things are.
Measuring everything.
Yeah. But my biggest problem became the boxes. So I was like, oh, what I'm gonna do? I had a storage facility. I was taking them there. Then I had a mishap at the storage facility. Whereas you remember that time
with the bag,
all the boxes. Yo, they had a flood in there. And my boxes, they paid me money for them because I told them that it was statues in there. It wasn't no statues, it was boxes. But the boxes was damn near gone. So I was like, oh, what I'm gonna do? Got another storage outside, and I put my boxes there, and I put my boxes up in the attic. But the biggest problem with us collectors is our boxes.
Yeah.
And when I got to you guys, I noticed that you guys were having the same issues, and it's just getting when I got the call to DCX, Thor didn't have to, but he did. And he helped me. He said, man, you're a man divided. I see like chaos in you. You're gonna
clouded you are.
Clouded you are in your movements.
Lord Maul. That's his favorite Star Wars character.
So and he saw I had DTOFs. So wall right here was DTOF's glass. He said, yo, you ain't double painting? Yo, I ain't gonna never forget that conversation.
When I saw that shit, I was like, bro, when I saw that, I said, bro, you got the double paint and you gotta go get these. They got those oh my god, I forgot. I don't even use it no more, but they got these screws. They got like wire clamps that you put under the reinforcement. I said, man, you gotta put on, because I did the same thing. I actually one night I turned around and the glass was dipping.
Yeah.
And I had the Vader Mythos attack, and he was like this.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa, I had to take them all out. The next day I was at Home Depot and I clamped them all up. I double, because them details, man, the statue's too heavy. You gotta read. It was Red Titan that taught me that.
Yeah.
So I had to pass it on to you, so no, it wasn't any damage.
And it worked. I mean, it worked. And I had brought a PAX unit, and I saw it dipping. I was like, it's my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know. Right. I went out, so when I come back from work, I'll fix that. I came back from work. I opened the door to my red room, and I looked on the floor. Wonder Woman head was someplace, and everything was like, I was like, what the hell happened here? And in my brain, in my childish brain, I thought the statues came alive and was fighting. I'm like, yeah, I was getting it. No, man. The PAX unit collapsed upon itself, and the Holy Trinity. Well, actually, no, it wasn't the Holy Trinity. It was just Wonder Woman and Batman that caught the brunt of it. Aquaman and Superman was fine. And they broke. So I had to reach out to my boy Yoda, Lewis, and he was like, "Yo, I'll help you fix it." And what I did was that was the first time I had to either repair a statue or get pieces from another statue to put the Frankenstein statue. So I got 2 statues that I can never get rid of. Right? Well, 3 actually 4. The Thing, because that came with no box. That was my COVID statue, my first COVID statue. And
you got the Abomination too, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right there next to my XM Studios Hulk transformation. I love that piece, right? But I got 4 statues I can't get rid of. And two don't got boxes, and 2 was Frankenstein together. So I just keep those there. But no, Thor, taught me a lot in streamlining and exactly keeping focus. What size lines are you gonna do? Are you gonna do 1/4 or 1/3? Because I had some 1/3 pieces. I got rid of those pieces because I remember talking to Rodney, and I tell dudes always, never put your foot in your mouth. Because I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna never sell no statues. Yeah, 50 statues sold later. Here I is. Yeah, I'll sell statues now. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit. Then they got to go, and you switch stuff up. Also, you use statue money to fund new statues. You don't want to go digging into your pockets on money that's already spent. You can only have so much space. So it's just little gems that I learned from each and every collector. And going to a Tim's house, I understood the level of visualization and dedication an individual will have to craft a certain idea.
Him and Junior. I mean,
him, Junior, and Mojo.
Emoji. I've seen some of Mojo stuff too. Yeah, Mojo is brilliant too.
These individuals, I mean, because it takes a level of OCD.
OCD, yeah.
I don't have that level of
OCD. Me neither.
Right? But these dudes have a level of OCD that is so high. And I love watching how Mojo puts stuff together. And we're talking the background, but I never been to Mojo's house. I've been to Junior's house because I went and purchased. If you see, 90% of the statues here is from Junior's house.
AKA Kmart. He was just on. I hope y'all watch Junior before King, because King is the one he was talking about that came to this house and said, I want everything.
Yo, shout out to my man Junior. I was like, yo, that check cleared. I sent that money before I even pulled up. Yo, here's $4,000 because I'm coming out with all I want.
Now look, we closing it. We can see this talk about statues all night because we got to get to Iron Lords. We got to talk. But okay, before we get to that, you got to tell the people the story of the family trinket, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, so that's how I met Junior, and I got over to Junior's house, and Thor, because I saw Ghost Rider on bike, and man, I wanted that piece. That's one of my holy grails that I was looking for, and and I told Thor, man, I'm looking for that piece. And he was like, yo, I think I got a guy. And then he hooked me over Junior, and Junior had it, and this piece was from Thor. Passed to Junior, now it's passed on to me, and it's sitting inside my red room right next to Punisher on bike. So I got the 2 bike pieces like opposite each other right there with a little Ghost Rider 1/10 scale sitting right there, the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. It's just a wonderful piece, and I met another incredible friend and an inspiring dude in Junior. Like-minded people stick together, so he's definitely a family man, and his collection was crazy. So I told him I needed 90% of your collection. And his DC room was nuts, but he switched all that stuff around and went straight customs and everything.
I couldn't believe
Incredible. It. Me too.
I couldn't. When he told me he wanted to do Star Wars, I said, "Well, it took him literally a week to convince me." Yeah. I was like, "Junior, go ahead, man," because he had the most beautiful. Like even Jason was envious of his collection.
Yep.
He said, "Man, have you seen that guy, Junior? Man, he got some beautiful stuff, man." And when I was like, Junior, what you gonna do? Sell all your stuff? He said, yeah, man, I want to collect the Star Wars. I said, Junior, go ahead, man. And he said, no, for real, for real. So I was like, okay. So
And
I
he
gave
went
him, I
all the
gave
way.
him, all, and bro, he sure did. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he no joke. All right. So Iron Lords podcast.
Honor, please, you got it. Anybody who is a gamer out there, if you don't know about these fellas, I mean, they on top. Everybody you want to see this in the industry, they got them coming. Like he just told me he got Cliff Blazinski on there.
Yeah,
that was my guy. Me, Rodney, we used to play. I mean, we played Gears of War from 9 o'clock on Friday night till 5 a.m. And you just looked at and the sun was coming up every week religiously. So take the floor, man. Iron Lords podcast.
Well, how it started. Well, first it started off with Channel 5. Channel 5 is a group of us. Is a bigger group than Iron Lords. Iron Lords is 4 guys. Is Lord Attic, Lord Sovereign, Lord Cognito, and myself. But Channel 5 is where we grew up. So again, like I told you, I was trying to escape the projects, and I went over to my cousin's house, and you know, he lived in a house, and it was away from our block. He was, you know, on Clay Ave, and we'd just stay in the house and play video games and stuff like that. And we have friends over, so it built from there. That camaraderie built from there. But I had saw him go to E3, and I'm playing on my Xbox, and I'm watching something on Xbox, and I see him on my Xbox at E3 talking about something with Halo. And I realized my cousin was out in California without me. Right. And it wasn't, oh, you were doing something without me. No, it was, if something happens, I'm not there to protect you. I said, that'll never happen again. You'll never travel that far away from something that I can't. If something happened, if something pop off, right, I can't be there for you. So that's never going to happen. I said, you're never going to go out there by yourself. And then next year we was out there together. But then, you know, he started doing like a Destiny's podcast with Lord Attic, and it was okay. Wasn't hitting. It was okay. And then he had Sovereign on, and he was like, "Your Sovereign, stick around," because he wanted that Saturday feel that we had.
Right.
And then, you know, I came on to the show. Then he was like, "Oh, this is it. This is what we're gonna do." So the other guys wind up leaving off of the show. And then me and Solve stayed. They threw away all those other episodes, and we started off fresh. And, you know, Iron Lords podcast. I'm the marketing manager and, you know, designer of the logo, that logo that you see back there, right there. We do that as a collaboration, as a team effort. Lord Zero helped with that, and then Lord De Niro fleshed it out, and we got that up. But we do Sundays at 1 p.m. and Iron Lords podcast is a family-friendly podcast where you can watch it with your grandma, you can watch it with your best friend. We're going to have jokes where adults can get it and kids won't understand what the hell you're talking about. But then we have, you know, jokes that, you know, kids will get, you know, and stuff like that. So it's about just trying to make it in the industry and trying to dissect and get to know people like, you know, like Cliff Blazinski. Cliffy B.
Cliffy B. We'll just say Cliffy B.
Yeah, right. Just to get to know him and know who's behind these games that we play. Who's designing this stuff? What was your thought process going in? What was your childhood like? What was you doing like video game wise? What was going on? So we want to know your history and what's your favorite likes and stuff like that. Something a little bit different than other people don't really care about, because everybody wants to know something they can take from you. What's next? What can you get from me? It's not about that. We want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate your history, your contribution to what you did for us, to, you know, our growth, our changing, because there's different things that happen. Sometimes you can play a video game that could fundamentally change your outlook on life. And could you imagine we have that guy on, and you get a chance to hear that his life wasn't so different than yours.
Right.
And this was the inspiration behind certain things. So that's what we do. We also have a website called lordsofgaming.net. And shout out to rest in peace to Lord Dizzy. He saw the brilliance in us, I guess. This is what he would say, what we could be. and he helped transform the website and get us to where we needed to be. So a lot of times you can go see the opinion pieces that we have up there with a lot of great writers that we do have, or you can go look at old episodes of KOS where prices of statues, dimensions of statues, stuff like that is there. Combat Talk with the King, the Lord's Minute that I do every week, where I talk about like right now we're talking about the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian. Those episodes go up, or you can look at our channel where we do R&R with the Lords, where we talk about new movies that came out, like this Shazam movie. And yeah, I'm gonna give you an exclusive. All right, so
go ahead.
Shazam, we're gonna be talking about Shazam this Tuesday. I saw Shazam yesterday. It's just marginally better than that last Ant-Man crap movie that came out. And you know, I would give Ant-Man 1 popcorn. I would give this 2 popcorn. They really, man, you had all the ingredients. And you know, sometimes people say, oh, they show all the trailers, they did everything in the trailers. Nah, not really. That's not the problem. It's the connecting parts to each big scene. It's too dead in between, right? And then there's parts that you're supposed to care, but you're not going to care about it because you don't feel the connection to care. The makeup artists, those people, y'all horrible. You dudes are the worst makeup artists that is fire them, because there's no way she's supposed to look like that. Y'all understand what I'm talking about without the spoilers, but the fundamental pillars of the movie is broken. It's just a broken movie. And I had such high hopes because, you know, Shazam is one of my all-time favorite characters. You know, Billy Batson, the Mighty Marvel, you know, Captain Marvel, the mightiest man on earth. That character, I love that character too. I would have loved for a wizard to find me in a train station and transform me into Shazam. You know, I used to watch the TV show. I had to show my wife too, because they give a call out to the guy from the TV show that was Billy Batson, the old dude that looks like he was Mexican.
Dude like from Chip, the dude from Chip. Yeah, I see it. I know it. I've seen it.
Yeah, so he's in the movie. And,
the dude is actually in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Oh wow!
And he says, "Hey, Captain Marvel." It's crazy. It's a crazy scene. It's aspects that could be good, but they also working on different things. So you see, they're going in a nice, good direction. So I hope James Gunn actually can pull it all together and make this thing happen. I believe he will. His Superman project comes out in 2025, so we're gonna get a chance to see that. But yeah, that movie, 2 popcorn, bro.
So dare I say it was an abomination?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yes, it was an abomination. Rodney, check this movie out, Rodney. This movie's for you, Rodney.
Oh my God, because he liked the first one.
You ain't gonna like this. I love the first one.
He liked the first one.
Remember what I said. Remember when Rodney sees it, we go revisit this.
Yeah. The next show, I hope he goes see it before the next show so we can discuss this. So
definitely,
you know, definitely. But anyhow, back to Iron Lords.
Yeah. So you know, so we do Iron Lords podcast this weekend. We're gonna have Harold Goldstein. Harold Goldstein is probably the most interesting person that you never knew that you needed to know. And we met him. He's the owner provider at the New York City Games Awards. We met him at the red carpet at the New York City Games Awards this year. And I just saw a guy that was standing there in, I think it was a plum suit, but small in stature, but he had a smile on his face. It seemed like that smile, there was nothing that you could remove from that smile. And that smile was all the people showing up to his event, all the people having such a good time. He was feeding off of the joy that was in the room. And he's a forever kid, because he gives back to children to know more about the games industry and get them into the game industry. But Harold is such a complex individual, and I can't wait for everybody to see this interview tomorrow. Whereas Harold is going to explain to you what it took for him to get from point A to point B in the gaming industry and be so well respected by every top guy. Because that night they were giving an award, like a lifetime achievement award, to Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer. Phil Spencer, if y'all don't know, the head of Microsoft Game Studios. CEO.
You got to watch the show to understand what
that was.
So get to it, Joe.
Yeah, for sure. But they was giving an award to him, and you had Reggie Fils-Aimé, formerly the head of Nintendo there. You had a lot of who's that was rubbing shoulders with icons in the industry that was there, like Jeff Keighley and other people that were there. And then us commoners that were there as well, us regular podcasters that were there, regular journalists that was there, and then some other people that just got tickets, but they were all intermingled, right? And it was just a celebration of video games at that moment. And I realized this one thing that actually unites us can never divide us, because we all have a common thread. I mean, I don't care if you're a PC dude or a Nintendo dude or a PlayStation dude or Xbox dude, whatever. It doesn't matter. What's the common thread is video games. And in that common thread, we can have one accord and understand that we need to treat each other a different way. So sometimes when I look at people online, just being real toxic, just because you like PlayStation or like Xbox or you like PC, whatever, is unnecessary, because at the end of the day, it's all video games, and we just all that one individual. And to see it in that room, that's when I truly understood why Harold had that smile, because he had everybody just on one page, no matter where they came from or what they were about, what their wallet size was, or what anything was. If you had problems that day or you didn't, that moment was a moment where everything just came together at one time. And that smile on his face was like poetic.
It's funny you say that, because that's kind of the reason I kind of got out of online game, because I can't deal with these little kids no more. And like, and they just, and I've gotten older, and I just can't deal with it no more. And they, and like you said, the toxicity.
Yeah.
And that's why I do stuff like God of War and adventure games. Right. Yeah. So I just don't do online anymore, because it's just, my last.
Join me in some Fortnite, sir.
No,
you have a great time.
I will, But we got about 10 minutes left, so I got to get to this.
Yes.
It's it. Other than the Hulk, my man Lord King David's favorite character is Darth Maul.
Oh,
now, I mean, we haven't done, I haven't really told y'all my story, but most people know Darth Vader. That's my guy since 4 years old. So when this man told me that Darth Maul was his other guy, his side piece, I said, "Oh, really?" So that's when this construction of the Red Room of Pain began. You see? so telling people how you discovered Darth. I mean, I've obviously seen the Phantom Menace, but like, your first experience, because I can tell folks the second I laid eyes on Darth Vader, that I was
when I saw the commercial trailer, because I had, I grew up watching all the Star Wars films,
right?
And then I saw the commercial, and I kind of drift away. I had all the Star Wars toys and stuff,
right?
You kind of drift
we
away.
All did.
You still stay fringe on the end, and I was doing a lot of Star Trek, because Captain Kirk was always in your face, and but I saw the commercial for Phantom Menace, and I said, "Oh, he had
this is new."
Yeah, he did like a backflip, and he put the double saber out. One saber came out, and then the other one came out. I said, "Oh, well, hello,
welcome."
I remember getting tickets and standing outside of the Orpheum Theater waiting. Everybody's dressed up. I'm like, yeah, weirdos. Like, this is what I'm saying in my head, brother. I would have dressed up too if I'd have known what I was gonna get. I got probably the greatest movie of all time. And it set my heart on fire, and it broke my heart at the same time. Right. Yeah. Because at the same time, they introduced the greatest character that I felt that they could ever introduce to this world. They killed him. What the hell? By Obi-Wan. by Obi-Wan, and this sucker did it twice. Okay, so right,
we
all
got
right.
him for you. Don't worry about it.
Right, so I was so happy when he was burning and writhing in pain.
We got him.
So I'm with DCX, and me and Thor was talking, and I told him about my love for Darth Maul. Right, that ended up to one of our most iconic DCX shows where I unboxed. I think it was like 7 Darth Mauls.
7 Darth Mauls at one time.
All the Darth Mauls there. I mean, I'm talking in the background. I'm getting chicken legs. I'm getting He helped me with Todd to get the XM Studios one. Yeah. It was absolutely crazy. So, we did that thing, but he told me in Clone Wars, my man was the man.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I didn't watch no Clone Wars.
He was head of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, he was like, yo, you need to go check your boy out because they fixed him. Yep, now, I remember seeing an episode where he came out with Spider Butt. And I was like, come on, man. How you gonna keep disrespecting my man with Spider Butt? Don't do Spider Butt on my man. But then they fixed him, and his brother helped him. That was treacherous. I'm just remembering certain things, with him and his brother. But it was he's probably the only reason I came back to the Star Wars franchise.
I've heard a few people say that.
Because I thought he encapsulated what a Sith was. And, Thor educated me on the fact that he was a Sith assassin. He wasn't a Sith Lord. Right. And then as you start to watch certain things, you start to see how a Sith Lord actually operates and how powerful certain Sith are in the Force. And that's what separates them from assassins to minor Sith to Sith Lords and how the hierarchy goes and stuff like that. So, characters like Darth Malik and stuff like that. Yeah, Darth Revan. See, he's still trying to get me to get these 2 pieces. This is he's slick in his mannerism. It's 2 of them that I want.
So we got 2 quick questions before we got a few more minutes. Are you still the king of all XM? And you told us about Shazam. What was your feelings about Black Adam?
All right. I'm gonna always be the king of XM. Anybody can come behind me and try to do it. All you did was just walk in my footsteps because I laid down the blueprint. So a lot of
that going on.
Yeah, it's cute. Cute,
right?
You
fraud alert! Give him the fraud alert.
Yeah, for sure. You could be like me, but you can't be me.
Tell him.
It's cute. If I laid down and showed you how to do it, man, you could spit the verse after I spit it, but does it hit the way it hit the first time I gave it to you? Well, that's game, baby. And I thought Black Adam was a way better film than Shazam 2. I thought Black Adam. I think they manipulated the numbers. I think they wanted The Rock out.
I thought I heard it was going good, and it was like it flopped. I was like, what?
That movie didn't flop. They manipulated the numbers. That movie, if you look at it in its totality, that movie was damn good for a Warner Brothers film, and I thought they was on a right track. He ruffled the wrong people's feathers, and sometimes when you mess with billionaires, you don't understand what a billionaire would do. Billionaire will lose some money to get rid of you, right? You little millionaire, like how dare you even dare to try to do something? You have no control. So The Rock felt that he was going to take control because he pulled Henry Cavill in it. Thank you so much for doing that, though.
For those of y'all who know,
I can't stand Henry Cavill. So thank you so much. You took down 2 birds with 1 stone, Rock. Thank you. I appreciate you. And forever grateful. Thank you. But one thing, when you don't wear the ears like Black Adam's ears supposed to be, so we're definitely going to get a movie where comic book accurate Black Adam will be next, because Black Adam is definitely going to be there. All right, because they talk about the Justice Society and they're going to do a story arc with the Justice Society. So Black Adam played a huge part in the story arc that they're going to do with Gods and Men. But I thought that movie was really good. and I think he got a true raw deal. And I think I gave it 4 popcorn. I thought it was a really good film because we have a 5 popcorn rating scale from 1 to 5 popcorn, 5 being the best, and 1 being hoo, don't do it. So that's R&R with the Lords, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. You can check it out on YouTube. But yeah, Black Adam, I really loved the film. I thought it was a real good film. I just think The Rock ruffled the wrong people's feathers, and I think at this point in time, they're trying to blackball him out of Hollywood for a period of time, giving him a sit down and a wake up call, because a lot of his projects are either being canceled or put on hold.
No way.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
He did it himself.
Right.
But thank you for taking Henry Cavill with you. Everybody that was part of the coup got left just like you.
Oh well, folks. I mean, me and this man could literally go on for hours. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, time constraints. But King, it's been a pleasure, man, and I'm glad that the viewers have got a chance to get to know you, because this, you know how you used to hear the most interesting man in the world. This man is truly, in my opinion, the most interesting man in collective.
Thank you so
You know
much.
what I mean? And it's facts. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you, and thanks for coming on. And we might have to come back on again to do to do
Facts,
more.
man. Always.
So anything you want to say before we leave? Or?
No, man, I would just like to say how thankful and appreciative that I am that I'm able to even have my story told for anybody to hear it, anybody to care about it, and anybody to grab anything that they can from it to give them some type of motivation to do anything different in this world. So remember, the only limitations is the limitations that you put upon yourself. Once you realize that, you are free.
Amen. And that's the story here. And we will catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Peace.